One night in Ponyville, Twilight Sparkle battled an evil sorcerer named Lord Malice, who plotted to rule the forest. Twilight zapped Malice with her magic by transforming him into a stone statue. Twilight transformed into an alicorn. The next day, Twilight, Spike, and Cusco met Launchpad McQuack on Widow Tweed's farm. Snips and Snails tried to steal Launchpad's jet plane, but Twilight shoos the pair away. Launchpad thanked the little pony. Weeks later, Cusco argues with Todd. When Twilight stops the argument, an angry Cusco tells her to leave him alone. A sad Twilight went to hide from Cusco and was at a mountain. Meanwhile, Cusco calms down and was sad because he did not want his little friend to run away. The llama and Spike went to find Twilight. They battled a huge creature called the Giant Cookie Monster. Cusco and Spike are rescued by Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie. The monster fell off a cliff. Spike found Twilight at the mountain. Cusco told her he was sorry. As they embraced, Twilight changes back into a unicorn. Twilight the Unicorn, Spike, and Cusco moved out of Widow Tweed's farm and went to live in a cave nearby a house in the forest. Months later, Twilight encountered Snips and Snails who want money, but she just ran off. Twilight also befriended a Pegasus named Flash Sentry, who helped her get back to her friends. Later that night, Cusco and Twilight argued. She told him she does not like being called little girl, but when Cusco accidentally called her that, she breaks down crying. Spike gave her her stuffed fox toy. After the dragon and the llama comforts the pony, they are welcomed by a friendly man named Tommy Oliver to his house. The three animals moved into his house. It is their new home. One day, in a nearby town, Twilight, Spike, Cusco, and Tommy befriended a pair of roommates named Ernie and Bert. They went to explore in an ancient temple deep in the forest. Once there, Ernie and Bert met and fell in love with two Fraggles, Moki and Red. Meanwhile, Moki and Red get kidnapped by Oscar the Grouch, but the animals help the Fraggles escape. The two Fraggles moved in with Ernie and Bert. Tommy told Twilight he was a superhero called a Power Ranger. One night, in the forest, Tommy battled Rothbart the Enchanter, who plotted to rule the forest. After Rothbart turned into a griffin called the Great Animal, Tommy the Green Ranger vanquished the villain. As for Winnie the Pooh, he battled Captain Hook. Pooh's friend, the crocodile, came to the rescue and chased Hook away. Pooh is safe. One day, in the forest, Twilight met Flash Sentry. Moments after he left, after their little argument, Twilight met Prince Blueblood, who asked her to marry him. Spike and Cusco saw what happened, and they followed. At Blueblood's castle, Twilight changed her mind after she told the prince she is just an orphan who needs to be adopted. Prince Blueblood acts abusive towards Twilight, and she ran back into the forest. After Cusco has the prince arrested, Spike followed the crying Twilight to the hill where Alexandra and George lived. The two horses comforts Twilight and adopted her as their daughter, taking Spike home with them. Cusco was surprised by that. A month later, Cusco tells the animals his story about his adventures with Twilight Sparkle until she was adopted. He missed his best friend, Spike too. One night, Cusco met Flash Sentry. As they went to visit Twilight and Spike at the house on the hill, they saw Snips and Snails. They are at the front of the house and want their revenge on Twilight. The llama and the Pegasus chase the wicked pair into the forest. They follow the two ponies up a cliff. As they fought, Snips and Snails tried to crush Cusco and Flash with a boulder, but Snips and Snails fell off the cliff and disappeared in a cascade of stones. The next day, Flash went to visit Twilight and Spike at the house on the hill. When Flash told Twilight he loved her, the two ponies kissed. Twilight magically transformed back into an alicorn. Spike the dragon happily watched as the couple flew through the enchanted forest together. Cusco the llama tried to stop Twilight and tell her he and she are best friends, but he failed to catch up with her. Cusco breaks down crying in sorrow at a tree. Suddenly, the llama heard giggles. It was Twilight Sparkle, the pony. Both Cusco and Twilight Sparkle happily embraced. They will always be the best of friends.